Hello, I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting from the Valiant Theatre here in the heart of Winnipeg's greasy Tenderloin District, just around the corner from Old Market Square, where we are halfway through the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. This is Kelly Hughes Live Shorts Fringe 2025. Thank you so much for popping by, whether you are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, our YouTube channel, or if you happen to be listening to this on UMFM 101.5. As the Mennonites would say, welcome here. Very glad to have my guest. I've got Chance Sabados. Is that how you say that?
It's close enough.
Okay. I wanted to give a little spin to it. Holly Brinkman.
It's me. Hello.
And speaking of Mennonites, Alan Fehr.
Hey there.
Thanks, everybody, for coming by.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So one of you didn't know that we were doing video, and one of you did, and it was you. Unless you just dressed that way for radio.
Oh yeah, this is clearly. I have a good face for radio, good attire for radio.
Yeah. Now I think didn't last year weren't you walking around with like a barrel, or what were you doing?
No, my big Bible. Like
right, the Bible.
Huge
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely invokes that barrel.
So what are you walking around doing, like when you're plugging your show? Or you don't have to, because you're getting sellouts. You're just sitting in the King's Head.
Like the poster, I think, is like my stage manager is like really aggressive with the postering, and the postering is a bit more aggressive than it was last year. So I think those two things, people are just like, oh yeah, I was just walking down Osborne, and I said, that's you.
So you're not doing as much, like you were walking around quite a bit, Old Market Square and everything last year.
Yeah, like now that my co-parent has the kids, now I have the freedom to be more involved. So, but yeah, like that's the intention, just get the word out. I don't want to rest on my laurels. Not going to take anything for granted.
Do you have the giant Bible still?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got to make it last. Luckily, it's like traveled well with every flight that I've had to take.
Yeah.
Not easy, but it flies.
Where have you taken the Bible?
Like this year we were in Ottawa. Last year was Edmonton and Vancouver, and this year we're going to London, Ontario, and then St. John, and then back to Vancouver.
Well, your family would be so happy that you were taking the Bible all over, but probably maybe not in this
They're unsaved.
context. Oh, they're unsaved. Are you doing the same show you were doing before?
Yes.
Just because everybody liked it so much, backed by popular demand.
Basically.
The Naked Mennonite.
Yep.
I thought you were going to do something different like this year, like the Naked Mennonite Cooks. Or
well, who knows? No, that's next year.
Yeah. So where's your venue?
We're at Rachel Brown, right by the Cube.
That's a nice space. And everybody likes it. You've been getting good houses. Holly, you said you tried to go and it was sold out.
Yeah, I was like cockily, like rolling up at like 5 minutes to showtime, and I got there and it was just like, no, absolutely not. I was like, well, okay, that's fair.
Did they laugh at you?
I was a little relieved.
You thought you'd get into this show?
I was a little relieved because it was like, oh, well, if I can't get in, then I'll just eat dinner, which I was really hungry and I really needed to. So it worked out.
Yeah, nothing worse than sitting in a show and your stomach's grumbling. And,
like, trying to quietly eat a protein bar. Sorry.
I didn't want to go to the show anyway.
And there's meat crinkling behind you.
I wanted samosas. Holly, what are you doing this year? I know, because you're the only person who gave me one of these.
I share flyers.
You're sharing it. You're not that person.
No.
You were doing, and this is upside down. It's very confusing. Bodice Ripper, a love story, an improvised romp through your favorite romance novels, so nice. And that is happening at. How come I can't see?
I'm at MTC Up the Alley.
Oh, does it say here?
I think so. Yeah,
right
it's just very small. And
MTC Up the Alley, and it is, what day is it? Tuesday right now. If you're seeing this on Tuesday, so you've got a show tonight at 6, and now it's a one-hander, but you've got guests.
Yeah, so I improvise 4 like stories throughout the show based off of audience participation, and then I have guest performers who come in, and so I try and like pull little.
How many per show?
I have one. Well, usually one per show. Tonight's Chase pageant, so that'll be really fun.
Nice.
And
speaking
then,
of sellouts,
so he's gonna like do a little bit of music at the top, and then at the end we will. I do what's called Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
And the guest performer gets to choose between truth or dare, and if it's truth, then I interview them about a time that they like had a meet cute or fell in love with
Okay.
someone, and then I improvise a story based off of that. If it's dare, then we improvise a meet cute together on stage.
Okay.
So,
Could Alan be a special guest, or is he too gay?
I mean, I have being pansexual. I can have just about anybody. I can believably fall in love with just about anybody on stage. So, yeah, but I'm all slotted up for my guest performance. But the show is so fun to do that I think I have to keep doing it, and because it changes every time. And
have you done this before anywhere?
I did it in Orlando.
Yeah.
And so it's been kind of like growing and evolving since then. And it's so fun to do. I really.
And the audiences like it because it's fun.
Yeah, the audiences like it. And I do sort of interactive audience participation that they can do anonymously through this thing called Slido, which if you were ever in like a hip university class, they maybe would have used a Slido to like do their.
I mean, it's not iClicker, but I'm sure it's similar.
Slido. Slido sounds like a very sketchy dating site.
Well, we do start the show with a audience generated word cloud. It's pretty fun.
Well, that is great. What do you think about that, Chance? Do you like that show? Do you want to go see it?
I do. I've got to try and fit it into my schedule, but if it's anything like Alan's, it's going to start selling out quick.
Yeah.
So, especially with Chase Padgett coming tonight.
I got a 4-star review from Winnipeg Free Press. Nice. They're like, come on, people.
Nice. Chance, do you have any reviews yet?
I do. I've got a number of reviews. I've got lots of patron reviews, which is great. I've got like 7 so far. We've got a few shows left. I've got a 4-star as well in the Free Press.
Nice.
So it's the first show I've ever written. So
yeah. What are you doing?
I'm doing the Apricot Tree. It's over at Venue 5, Son of Warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. First show I've ever written. First time performing as a performer in Fringe. I've done a lot of stage managing. So
long-time stage manager, first-time performer. What's the show about?
It's about death and the memories we hold with us. What happens when life flashes before our eyes.
So you figured for your first show you would just bunt it, right? No big swings.
Well, I mean, it was a big swing, but it was also easy because it stems from my memories, and so it was very easy for me to recollect the words I was saying.
Yeah.
Is your memory good?
It has to be when you're doing the 45-minute solo show.
I have sort of written lots of confessional kind of stuff, memoirish kind of stuff, and I realized that my memory is not good and I can't remember everything. But I realized that you can just make stuff up and nobody knows, right? And if it has the ring of truth, right? If it's kind of the flavor of truth, then there you go.
I've always thought I just hope to be famous enough that people start fact checking my personal stories. That would be incredible if someone is hiring people to like deep dive into whether or not my personal all true storytelling is actually all true. Then great, I've made it.
Yeah,
but
maybe don't fact check mine.
But it doesn't matter because even when you fact check and somebody presents, you get presented with your fact check, you just say, "Oh, I didn't say that." I mean, that's right. I mean, look at politics. I mean, they just say,
I didn't say that.
you just repeat your lie, and there you go. Nobody actually cares.
But also, like, if you tell any story about your life and you include all the people and all the places where it just becomes not a good story anymore. Like you just add too many details and you lose the so you do have to.
It's a good balance of keeping the memory short and concise, but taking the most vivid things from those memories.
Well, this is why sometimes, like in a real story, they'll take like 3 characters and turn it into one person, and then they'll make it Tommy Lee Jones.
Like with my story that I'm presenting, like I call myself Stephen Harder, and it's all like influenced by my own personal history, but like my personal history is like there's so much gray in there. So Stephen's story is very black and white, and it's very sad. And like even I had friends from high school at the show, and I had to explain like my story isn't the same as his story because Stephen didn't have friends like you. He didn't have you two. So and I did, and I'm fortunate that I had you two in my life, so that I didn't have to have the completely isolated experience that Stephen did.
But it was like close enough that you could imagine what like path or what it would have felt like without
exactly
having those
experiences. Did you bring your show back because it was such a success, or were you just too lazy to write a new one?
I've got my shows planned out till 2028.
Okay.
So
you're like James Gunn with all his DC film stuff.
Exactly. I'm just like I am just like James Gunn.
So
First.
it was your plan. It was your plan to remount the Naked Mennonite
for 2
this
years.
year.
Yeah, like start some momentum and
Yeah.
then capitalize on it. And then if it falls flat on its face, okay, well, I'll go back to office admin work.
Yeah. Are you good at office admin work?
Yes, I am.
I mean, your shows are planned up until 2020. That makes me think that you're like pretty good at planning.
Like I've almost got my complete cast. Like I'm doing the Crucible in October of 2026, and I've almost got my cast locked in. And I think some of them are just like a little bit like, I can't commit this far out. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll find someone who can.
So that is not part of the Naked Mennonite franchise?
No.
It's not the Naked Mennonite Crucible?
It is not, but we're doing it on the grounds of the Mennonite Heritage Village.
Oh, okay.
As a walking play, just like Shakespeare in the Runes, right? So it's going to be Mennonite influenced.
Right. So are they for or against burning witches at the Mennonite Heritage Village?
Just burning them. You don't have fire. It's not after the windmill.
I kind of I saw that a million years ago at MTC.
Yeah, I did too.
And I feel like Frank Adamson was Giles Corey.
Okay.
And I just love that bit. More weight. That's like my favorite bit because it's just like, fuck you.
Yep.
And I kind of, I don't know. I kind of love that.
Yeah, it's either fuck you or just like, please, just finish this already.
Have you seen The Crucible, Holly?
I have, and I think we read it.
Probably you read it in school.
Yeah,
Yep,
in school.
11 or 12.
Yeah.
And there's a Winona Ryder movie adaptation,
yeah,
right? That's the one I saw, like
adaptation.
I think by like gothy teen.
Was that before she was shoplifting?
I think so. I'm not super up on the Winona Ryder timeline,
I'm
but
gonna fact check you on this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not like she's not like your
She's
You don't have
in
her
high
poster.
school, but that was many years ago, so I like
yeah.
Not that
sorry.
many years ago.
What?
5 years ago.
Yeah,
5
yes,
years.
yeah.
Chance Winona Ryder, thumbs up or thumbs down.
You know, I'm the youngest one sitting here.
Like I don't even know if
You
Chance
don't-
knows who Winona
I
Ryder is.
do, but I'll leave a thumbs in the middle.
Okay.
Watch Heathers and then
Are you like
that'll
Gen? Are you
fantastic.
Are you Gen Z or Gen Z? How old are you?
Unfortunately, I'm 24, so I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
quite make the millennial.
Do you call it Gen Z or Gen Z?
Say Gen Z.
Gen Z.
I know. What
but
are you?
like,
Where are you from?
I'm Canadian.
Where in Canada?
Like the interior of British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of strange people in the interior of BC.
Hell yeah.
It's just kind of like the. I feel like it's like a lot of malcontents and a lot of like kind of the crossover. Kind of this crossover between like hippies and Nazis.
Like
It's
hicks
kinda
and
like a
hippies
weird-
is with it,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
they're originally colonized by the Quakers, and
Yeah.
then there was
Good people.
Are the Doukhobors still in there?
yeah, the Doukhobors are in that zone, and then draft dodgers in the 70s really
Yeah.
fled into there because it's right near the
Yeah.
American border.
Yeah.
You got what was the like clash between hicks and hippies?
I'm from here, from Manitoba, and like a lot of our rural areas are just full of like straight up Mennonites, right? And or maybe like some German Baptists or but a lot of it is kind of conservative country, and it's kind of just farmers and people doing their thing. Although we do have a place where we camp in the last few years, which is just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and like probably 2 years in a row, there was an RCMP warning about a murderer on the loose who was like from around there. And I kind of think that sometimes the people that want to live in rural areas are the people that can't get along in the city, right? Like they're just like, I'm going to go over here and do whatever the hell I want. One of the murders was like a dispute about a trailer because the guy sold a trailer to another guy, but he didn't include like the ramps, and there was this whole thing. So I do kind of think, because like when you're in the country, I'm not really even kidding, because when you're in the country, nobody's going to complain about your yard. No one's going to complain about the old cars or all the junk or this or that or your meth lab or whatever you're doing. And I do kind of feel like.
But the other thing about living in like a
Your
really
dog.
rural, really small town is like everybody knows everybody, but like if my dad,
everybody's a fact checker.
yes,
Yeah.
my dad owns a sawmill and did my whole life, and it was like if something went missing from the yard, within a day, we knew exactly who it was who had it, and then he would just drive over there and get it back. Like it just so there's the like sort of the anonymity of because there's lots of space. People live on hundreds of acres. But also, everybody knows everybody, and there's only one page in the phone book.
Yeah.
So,
but you have just proved my point. Your rural area was full of thieves.
it was not that often.
Okay, it was the same. It was the same person.
Just
3 times a week.
Yeah. Occasionally a chainsaw, maybe some gas.
It was Randy.
And it was borrowing, or was it stealing or borrowing without asking?
I mean, yeah, in the dead of night, you're like, just if they had driven up and asked, Dad would have been like, yes, please bring it back tomorrow. It's like, just ask.
Once I needed an extra N64 controller, so I was going to borrow it from my friend Dave.
Very similar to a chainsaw.
Very similar to a chainsaw. But nobody was home, so I just kind of like went downstairs and like borrowed his N64 controller and left a note saying, "Hey Dave, sorry, I just borrowed your N64 controller and I'll bring it right back." And then a week later, I brought it back and the note was still there. So I'm just like, oh, the perfect crime.
Just perfect switch outs. Well, yeah, and that's the other thing about the countries. Like, not only do people never lock their doors, they don't have the ability to lock their doors.
Yeah.
Like they haven't seen their house key in 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, so we camp up kind of up Highway 12, which is over here, like an hour and a quarter up there. And it's an old farmstead, and my partner Andy's aunt and uncle live for close to there because it's actually where we are is their property. And up until maybe 2 years ago, they didn't even have a lock on their door. It wasn't like they didn't know where the key was.
Yeah.
They just owned a house, like a house where you live with no. I mean, I have a lock on the bathroom. Like, My parents, I'll like borrow a car and the keys are like in the ignition with the like wallet on the front seat. It's like, great, everything I need. Where is this?
It's like
I'm not gonna take
give us an address.
Honestly, I don't know their house address because it's so rural.
Yeah.
It's like a rural route. You send everything to the post
The
office.
second lamppost.
It's like kind of the geographic midpoint between Calgary and Vancouver. It's like right.
But what is it?
It's the Kootenays. So it's like north of Caslow. They're in Meadow Creek.
Yeah, okay.
And there is a meadow and a creek there, so that's good.
I've been there. I've been to all. In 1991, 92, I toured with Pacific Theater, and because it was 1991, 92, everybody was doing anti-drug shows, right? So we did 2 anti-drug plays, and we went all over.
I wonder if I probably saw them. Like if you performed in Caslow for the schools, my school would have busted in to see that.
Well, 91, 92, we were doing shows for younger audiences and then high schools.
Yeah, so I would have been grade 1 or 2.
Maybe it was Saint Sam and the Dragon, and that was the kids one, and the drugs were cookies. And there was a dragon, and I was Lance, the Dragon Slayer, and it was lots of fun. But it was very interesting. We did 135 performances over 9 months, and that was kind of when I decided after that I didn't really want to be an actor. I mean, I think that you have to I think that you get to the point where you either are like I want to do this, or oh no, I don't really want to do this. Holly, when was the point when you were like, oh yeah, I really want to do this?
I mean, when I was like little and all through high school, if you had asked me what I was going to be when I grew up, I said I was going to be a movie star. That was my I was very committed to that. And then I went to one open call audition in Vancouver in a room full of people who looked just like me when I was 19. And I was like, oh, no. And I didn't. And then I went to university and I stopped acting. And I just for years didn't do anything after that. And then it was kind of Fringe that got me back on the stage.
Yeah.
So kind of forever.
Forever's a long time.
Yeah. Ellen, did you take a break from acting while you were doing office things?
No, that's when I was making writing and performance in all the margins. Okay, I've got 2 weeks of vacation, so I just got to line that up just right with Fringe, and then I can spend my vacation time doing performing. And then COVID happened, and I lost my job because it was events based. And then I lost my marriage because I came out of the closet, and I lost my community because it was COVID, and we all lost community. And then when it was time to rebuild, like, oh, I'm not going to put this in the margin anymore. I'm going to try putting it over here.
So when did you come out?
Like, to myself, it was 2 weeks before the provincial lockdown.
Wow.
Yeah, then it was a year and a half of like, well, hon, what are we going to do about that?
Sitting there with your thoughts.
Yes.
But you're not a young person anymore.
No, I'm not. I'm old.
So how come it took so long, do you think?
Because I was a good Christian boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you look pretty gay to me. It might be the outfit. I don't know. I guess probably you weren't dressing like that. At,
no, not in Steinbach.
So did you have? I guess this is interesting to me because you're interesting, but also because I grew up in an evangelical church.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I left was because there was a person who was like obviously gay, like to me, he was obviously very gay. He was in the closet, but he was obviously just like, you know what I mean, just obviously gay. Yeah. And there was a men's group, and so he, I guess, sort of confessed to one of the guys in the group about some of his, his feelings or whatever, thoughts. I mean, I don't think it was feelings towards this guy, but just how things that he felt about. So this guy told the rest of the men's group, and then, they told the pastor, and then they sort of, I guess there was a meeting with this guy, which just kind of humiliated and, sort of degraded him. And so he left, and then the pastor, it was an independent evangelical church, but they were connected with some other independents. So the pastor called this place and 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 said, watch out for this guy. He's gay, and he's going to, bring his magical penis your way or whatever. And then, and this guy couldn't go to any of the churches like that he would have wanted to go to.
Right.
So as that was one of the things. And as that was happening, I was like, well, I still believed that, like, I still didn't think that, I still wasn't at the place where I was like, homosexuality is like, all right, or whatever. But I was changing the way that I was thinking. And I remember thinking like this guy's gay. Like this guy came out of the egg gay. There's no universe where this guy is straight. So I don't understand how, how we can fault this person,
right?
Because this, you know what I mean? It just
whatever he's doing seems less wrong than what y'all just did. That seems way more wrong.
Well, and I grew up Christian, but it's I find it so hypocritical because it's the number one commandment above all in Christianity is love your neighbor as yourself. And then I watch people degrade other people every single day.
And the number 2 commandment is if a woman is having her period, she's not allowed to touch vegetables. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
It's just
there's a lot of stuff.
Pick and choose.
When did you leave the church?
Nope, I'm still part of the church, but I
You're
find
trying to
my
change
faith
it, trying to destroy it from inside.
Yeah,
sleeper cell.
I find my faith is a lot more rooted in my relationship with God and me and my relationship rather than attached to the church.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I still, if you've got one of those Bibles that have the words of Jesus in red, I'm fine with, pretty much all that stuff. That's actually not problematic. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff in there, and then there's like you say, there's what people are actually doing, and then of course, with certain, like with Mennonite stuff, there's a whole bunch of collection of cultural and I mean, some of the. Have you ever been to any of the like crazy Mennonite colonies, like down in Brazil where they don't use rubber tires? They've got like tractors with steel wheels. And
I've watched women talking like many times.
Yeah.
That's about as close. Like I visited St. Jacobs in Ontario. I believe that's as close as I've seen here in Canada. They're all
you must have Mennonites out there too, eh, Holly? A few Anabaptists hiding in the bushes out there.
Doukhobors, and then there's some in the East Kootenays, like in the Cranbrook, Creston area. That's sort of the like more like farmland.
Anytime I see the word Doukhobor, I just want in my head I go Duke, Doukhobor.
Nice.
It just every single time.
The Doukhobors make the best borscht.
Okay.
It's truly unhinged. It's like cream, potato, and dill based instead of like beets.
Yeah.
And it's that shit's like,
oh my yo.
Oh, yummies.
it's serious business.
Alan, what is your favorite Mennonite food?
My favorite plots. Definitely plots.
What's that?
It's like your basic, like, you know, you got your sweet fruit kind of thing, and then you're like your pastry dough kind of thing over top.
So like a crumble or a cobbler kind of?
Yeah.
It's not one of the fatty kind of things.
No.
It's not one of the things that's going to give you Mennonite gout.
Well, enough of anything can give you gout.
So what do the Mennonites think about the Naked Mennonite?
Like that's part of what was, like last year I was like trying to kind of keep the brakes. I wasn't like pedal to the metal, so I didn't like promote the show within my circle at all, because the last thing I need is for someone to be scrolling and say, oh, what, you know, a gay atheist stripper in Steinbach, like someone call CFS quick. And I didn't know how the show would be received, so I like hedged it. I said, oh, this is just gay burlesque, it's fun. And then when people would come and see like the heart and the vulnerability that goes behind it, then like, oh wow, there's a lot more to it here. And then this year I was just like, no, like this show, I love this show so much. Like I have so much respect for this material that I've done. I'm really, really proud of it. You know what? I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to say, this is what I've been doing, and I'm so proud of what I'm doing. And if people judge it, like the reason I haven't been putting this out is because I didn't want people to judge me. And you know what? If you're going to judge me based off of my art, that's about you, and that isn't about me. And this is something that I'm stinking proud of.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been nice to be able to bring that out.
Yeah. What does your family think?
My sister came to see it, and she sat in the back. And like I told, like apparently, my mom hasn't been to see it, and I think she wants to, but I've asked her not to because it would be really distracting to have my mom in the audience. Like in Ottawa, Martin Dockery came to see me, and he was just like this the whole time, and I'm just like in the front row. I'm just like, oh, Martin, I love you, man. Thank you so much. But like, oh, you're so distracting. But he was so affirming. But having
he's
my
the
mom,
nicest guy.
he is so nice. But to have my mom anywhere in the audience, be like, just try and block it out. But my sister saw it, and she thought it was wonderful and hard for her, just because it deals with some hard material. But like I appreciated when someone said like it's a show of hope. I was just like, oh yeah, it does end on a hopeful note. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. It is very hopeful. Are you in Winnipeg now, or Steinbach, or? Just moved into with my partner outside of St. Anne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So kind of a little bit closer to the city.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I guess. I mean, you know what you were kind of half joking about, CFS calling, but I guess it's not really all joke, because I know a lot of people who are living, in the 90s, what did we call them, alternative lifestyles?
Yes.
Because even like I know lots of people, my partner and I are non-monogamous, and so I know lots of people in that sort of scene, people who are parents who don't talk about that because you're concerned about wherever you live, that people are going to think that you're a lousy parent.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really something that's unless somebody calls CFS on you, that's something that's between you and your your kid or your kids and your partner.
Well, and it's not like you're marketing the show to all ages, right? It's not Naked Mennonite is not called an all ages show.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have.
You're not a kid's friend.
My stage manager tried to poster at the Forks. I was like, no, please, no.
And that I think because I often do shows with. Like my show, My Body of Work has burlesque in it and nudity. And then this show is like, it's silly, but it also gets pretty spicy sometimes, depending on kind of whatever mood I'm in. But yeah, you just have to make it clear. You're like, it's not appropriate for younger audiences, and I'm not putting my nudity like out on the posters, so those are fine for anyone to look at. But I have nieces who are younger, and they think it's so stupid that I make shows that they can't watch. They just think it's total BS. They just are like, wait, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm 12 and I'm not allowed to go see the theater work that you do. And I'm like,
well, I tell people, I'm like, you can come to my show. I'd be happy to have you, but it is a show about death. So if you want to bring your 8-year-old to a show that's going to tell them that they're about to die, that's on you.
You're telling 8-year-olds are about to die?
No, I'm saying if that's the parent who wants to bring their 8-year-old to a show about death, then get them started early, I guess.
But I mean, probably you're not telling the audience they're about to die. I think an 8-year-old probably has a reasonable expectation that they're going to live.
You're telling an audience they're about to die is a bit threatening.
Yeah.
It's ironic because my first show, I do say that. I at one point yell and point at an audience member and go, "You're going to die," with an expletive off the top of the show. And my first show had a bunch of women in like their 70s.
Yeah.
And they loved it. They loved it.
Right.
They were like, "This is so wise coming from someone so young." I was like, "Thank you."
How did you know?
How did you know I'm about to die?
I was driving from Vancouver and I passed you pass lots of the religious billboards, right? One of them though was so threatening. It's just huge letters, white billboard, black letters, "You will meet your God." And I was like, is Mike like about to die? Like just around the next turn, which is 100 kilometers from here. I like,
next turn up.
You're like, I'm going to meet Keanu Reeves?
I would love that. That would be amazing.
Bodice Ripper, a love story. Is there nudity in this one?
No, I just talk about naked people.
Okay, so no, if you go tonight, you won't.
Talks about Alan.
You won't get to see Chase Padgett's penis if you come tonight.
I don't think so. I think he's going to play the guitar. I think he's going to keep his pants on. But again, all I do with my guest performers is I give them the prompt: give me your sexiest 5 minutes, and they can do whatever they want within there. So in the program, it does say nudity, and I put that in there just in case I had like burlesque performers or like people coming in to kind of cover all my bases.
Chance, what was your sexiest 5 minutes ever?
That's putting me on the spot.
I give them more time to think about it.
Okay, we'll come back to you. I'm going to ask you a different question though. Has anybody from your church come to see your show?
I don't know yet. I did put it out to my church. I said, "Hey, I'm doing this show." They've always been very supportive. I would think that at least somebody's going to come. Yeah. But they're all great. They're all.
You told me they were a bunch of hypocrites.
I said the church. The church is a bunch of hypocrites.
Oh, the church.
I mean, every individual is an individual, but.
Oh, okay. So your church is the capital C church, small C church. I'm not really sure. Not your church. Church, not your church. Yeah.
It could be my church as well, you know?
They're the worst.
What's that?
The Roman Catholic Church, the mother.
I'm an Anglican church, so it's a little more. It's like, well, we're Christian, we're kind of Catholic, but we're also kind of English, but we're also it's like
English Catholics, got it.
Yeah, it's like we don't know what we really want.
Well, you know. They want you. That's what that's what they want.
They want to know they're about to die,
and that's what they've got. Has anybody seen anything good? We're halfway through. Have you had a chance, or you just been too busy?
I just saw Small Fish last night. Two nights ago. Super fun.
Yeah.
I was saying before we started rolling that I'm also assistant stage managing the Ballad of Boblin the Goblin at the Gas Station Arts Center. It's a all original musical. Leif Ingebrigtsen wrote all the music, and it's so charming. It's like it's a really sweet.
You keep at it, and one day you'll be a stage manager. You won't be assistant forever. Don't you worry.
I'm not worried about it.
I saw Eggshells was fantastic. Joel Basante is returning to Fringe after 11 years, I think.
Something, and he was my first. He was my first guest on here. As we were sitting here, I've done 13 and a half hours already with 45 different artists, and Joel was my first.
One.
He was my guinea pig
test trial
as we were trying to figure out our system.
Nice.
And my next ones were, I've got these chairs which are kind of like, they're fine, but the chairs that I had, like, for the chairs I had when I had
Stools.
Joel and my second people. No, I had some old seats from the Park Theater, and I had attached them to the ground, but not that well, I guess, because we were doing sound check with Willow Rosenberg and Adam Schwartz, and they were sitting in the one of them was already sitting in, one of them sat down, and the whole thing just went, and they just went ass over tea kettle, and I was very glad that they were not hurt.
Yes, clearly.
And
I didn't sign a waiver when I came in. So.
I know, honest to God, I felt like, and like Willow's like disabled and uses a cane and stuff, and I'm like, geez, you came in here with a cane, you're gonna leave in a wheelchair. But anyway, she's fine. Everybody's fine. Nobody else, no actors have been hurt in the making of this. Yeah. Just a few put on the spot.
Kelly was like, "Yeah, come to this old church and talk about art." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Have you figured out your 5 minutes of Sexy's 5 minutes yet?
I haven't, and maybe it still needs to happen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a future Fringe love end of the week in the making. I don't know.
Has anybody, yesterday, I woke up yesterday with kidney stones. Has anybody ever had kidney stones?
That sounds awful.
Well, I've had kidney stones before, and I didn't know what it was because it's like I am told that it's the worst pain you can have that's not childbirth, and I've had lots of back problems in my life, and I thought it was my back, but I realized this was last year when I had it the first time. I realized it was inside, because your kidney is right back here.
The kidneys are historically inside your body.
Yes, usually. Historically.
Mine.
And I realized,
just hanging off the back.
Yeah. Holly's gonna show us her kidney sacks in a moment. But
I'm on dialysis. Thanks.
So then when it happened to me yesterday, when I woke up yesterday, I knew exactly what it was. And I don't know if you have this in BC, but in Manitoba now we have something called QDoc. Which is like an online doctor. Have you done that now?
Yeah, many times.
So the online doctor, so you just like log into the thing, you wait for somebody, and then you talk to a doctor who's, sitting at home, and his wife is wandering around in the back. My partner Andy said, I guess he's not following all the
patient
whatever the rules are for the confidentiality rules, because she's wandering around doing something. But I mean, I talked to him for 5 minutes, and then he sent the stuff over to my pharmacy, and then I sent a friend over to, because I could hardly even move.
Wow.
Do you have any like online thing, do you think, in BC for?
Probably. I'm going to say this out loud, and everyone in Canada is going to hate me, but I have a family doctor. So, and
no.
In Vancouver, it's like really rare for people, especially people like my age, to have an actual, like the same doctor that they see over and over again. And I sometimes see her through like video chat or in person. So,
no, I mean, there's other things you could do to make Canada hate you, but saying you have a family doctor, that's good.
I just feel like
you won the lottery.
I prefer a family doctor, because if someone's gonna grow up with me, then they're gonna know about all my past history. They're gonna know about.
No, I'm not. She's not my family doctor, as in I've known her my whole life. I won the lottery and got her last year.
And you said grow up with you. I want to know how old your doctor is. Well, the same age as you.
You know what I mean? Like
you're gonna grow up with.
I've changed doctors 3 times now.
Yeah.
But I'm still young, right? So it's like I had one.
You sure are.
You gotta lock one in before your body starts.
Yeah, a beautiful full head of hair.
Full head of hair.
Still has his wisdom teeth.
Still got my wisdom teeth. Yeah.
That's why his show is so wise.
Yeah. You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
Oh, and then your wisdom teeth pop out, and you're like, I'm gonna live forever.
I will live forever. Immediately sees you will meet God.
You will meet your God.
Right. You will meet your God.
So ominous.
Some of those. The billboards are. It's interesting because so Andy, my partner, grew up as an atheist, and so they have a hard time. Like, there's no frame of reference for it, and I've been in that scene, so like I get it. Like, I know those guys. I know the guys that are like, I knew a guy who would pick up hitchhikers and wouldn't let them leave the car until they'd said the sinner's prayer. I know these guys. I knew the guy. He might even still do it, but I knew the guy that ran like the, teen challenge. I mean, there's some very good. To me, there's some very good stories embedded in that whole kind of scene that I haven't really seen a lot of, because like when I see movies and they've got these certain kind of Christians or evangelicals or whatever, usually it's not quite right. Do you know what I mean? Usually it just doesn't quite ring true.
They're almost they're like, especially if it's one where it's, like you've got evangelical Christians kind of cast as the villains or whatever. They're like caricatures. They're not fully fleshed out humans usually. They're not like.
There's a few. I have a mental list that I can't access all of it right now, but there's one. The Apostle is great with oh my God, Robert Duvall. So he plays this sort of televangelist type who is desperately trying to hang on to his sort of empire, and then some things happen. But I mean, all that stuff to me really rang true. There's another one about a church that that believes in. They've got snakes, and they believe in like.
Is that Shakers? The Shaker religion? There's like
it was not the Shakers in this, but there's a scripture that says you can. End of Mark. If the snake bites you, you won't be whatever it is.
You drink poison, you won't.
And so there are some like Pentecostal churches in the past. I don't know if any of them are around now, but they would like have that. That would be so. In this movie, the minister, the pastor, allows himself to be bitten by snakes to prove that he's the one. That he's, so there's lots of.
I mean, I think one of my like early pansexual awakenings was the Jesus Christ Superstar movie. And I was like, oh wow, yeah, everybody in here is amazing, and you're like, do I like men who are pretty like girls? I don't. Wow, that's a confused. Okay,
if you are the Christ, the great Jesus Christ.
So
prove to me that you're no fool. Walk across my swimming pool.
Did that movie also make you gay?
No. No, like this is always like.
What made Alan gay? Let's go here.
Which movie specifically? Yeah, because that's how it works.
Or the video games you're playing.
The church needs to know.
Yeah.
That's always my hallmark of just how cool I was in high school, specifically grade 12. I would go home at lunchtime and take my friend's like record of Jesus Christ Superstar, put it on my dad's record player, but set it to like the small record setting so that it plays fast.
Okay.
And then at lunchtime, I would be having my own private Jesus Christ Superstar disco dance party.
It didn't.
I don't know how to love.
But it also probably sounded like the Chipmunks, right? Isn't that
not that much.
No?
It was just like a nice disco bop, and I would spend my lunchtime dancing.
There must be a remix somewhere.
Such a good idea.
There's something for everybody now.
It seemed like you were very cool in high school.
In Landmark, yes. Small Mennonite community.
Tell us more about your pansexual awakening. It sounds fun.
I mean, it was like kind of slowly over time. I had these like. Just spent a lot of my youth being like, no, I don't have a crush on her. I just want to be her friend. I just want to be just like her. I just want to be near her all the time. I want to lay my butt. Nope, wait. No, I want to lick. Nope. And I spent a lot of time doing that. And then also kind of right before the pandemic, I remember specifically the night I switched my Tinder settings from just seeking men to seeking all genders.
Oh, nice.
And then like 2 months later, the whole world closed and nobody was getting any. But I,
so you and Alan were in the same boat, a couple of very sad queers.
Yeah. But then I got to rewatch all the things that I was like, oh yeah, I was gay the whole time.
Yeah. Well, for non-monogamous people, it was the same. The pandemic was the same deal too. Yeah, it's interesting because I guess my first kind of gay thing was when I guess sometime when I was a teenager, my friend and I were, it was like, oh hey, we've both got penises and we could both, we could touch the penises. And then he grew out of that, and I guess one imagines, because that never happened again, and that was kind of a one-time only deal. But it's interesting to me that I felt shame about a lot of things growing up in the church, and I'm not sure why. Not sure actually why that wasn't one of them, because I don't really know why, because I did feel like how do I put this? I'm like because I consider myself, pansexual or bi or whatever, but I feel like I like penises, but not really men. So that was kind of a thing where I was, maybe that kind of let me off the proverbial hook. I don't know, but it was interesting. I didn't talk about it for a long time about being queer because I felt like there were a lot of people that were like, I thought, I don't want to suck all the air out of the room because there's people that have had, been beat up their whole lives, or there's people that are like, whatever.
Yeah, I was always like, I knew that I was very attracted to cis men.
Yeah.
And so that was always like, well, I'm not a lesbian. And so that was always kind of like a relief. I would always be like, well, I know I'm attracted to men. Yeah. But then I was able to just kind of like, and then whatever I'm feeling over here is just friendship.
Maybe that's,
and
not friendship with penises for me, but I mean, maybe that's what it was like. Maybe that's what it was like for me, because I'm very attracted to, to you, Holly, and all the other people like you. There's nobody like you, Holly. But I guess really, because I mean, I'm quite a bit older. I'm 55. So bisexual wasn't really like,
it was the butt of a lot of jokes. I remember there's like branded in my memory, there's a song that Phoebe sings in Friends where she's like, and then there are bisexuals, but most people say they're just kidding themselves. And that's like, it was often thought of like an on-ramp to full gay.
Yeah.
It was like people said they were bisexual because they weren't ready to say like, no, I only like gay stuff. Yeah. And that just never felt like it fit.
Yeah, totally.
And then I had to do a lot of like giving myself permission to, and I like intellectually knew that like sexuality is on a spectrum, but I didn't let myself like label that for myself.
Yeah.
It took a long time to be like, oh, my sexuality is on a spectrum.
I think this idea of, things being on the spectrum, whether it's sexuality or for me, the brain, all these different, because I've had different diagnoses about what's going on in my brain. And really, I mean, those things are only, if they say you're bipolar and this is what it looks like, I mean, not everybody looks like that. Not everybody has this. I mean, that's a model.
Yeah.
It collects these symptoms or these, things and says, this is what this is. Whereas, I mean, people are so different.
Yeah.
And so, there's this whole kind of spectrum of, like I say, whether it's sexuality or whether it's neurotypes. And I really like that because I feel like it takes away from this idea that like, this is normative, right?
Yeah.
This is neuronormative. This is heteronormative. And I've joked for a long time that I feel like people should have to come out as being hetero, and otherwise we'll just assume that it's a free for all, right?
Yeah.
Because that seems only fair.
Besides, being neurodivergent makes me feel a little bit like an X-Men.
Ooh.
Just like Professor Xavier's School for Neurodivergence. It's like, I can move stuff I can't move stuff with my mind. But my mind does move very, very fast.
Can you, somebody actually, I asked somebody wanted to come and do the interview. We're sitting here, it's morning. Thank you all for coming on a morning. And they said, I can't, do you have any in the evening? I can't do the morning because I've been having trouble sleeping with my Adderall. Are you ADHD? Is that?
Yeah, I take Concerta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do you like it?
I love it. Yeah. I haven't taken it yet this morning because I'm typically like kind of my executive functions more in the morning.
Yeah.
And also on Fringe too, or if I try to take it a little bit later so that I'm still functioning later at night because I can feel it wear off out of my body. So I typically, like after I take it, about 9 hours later, get real sleepy. And then
how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 36.
There is so many women and
people raised and socialized as women.
Yeah, who are diagnosed so much later, which is just
we're really intensely taught through society and everything to internalize everything. So it very good at like looking like a calm duck floating on the water, but underneath it just.
You know what I just saw last night? Has anybody seen Inside Out 2?
Yes.
Not yet.
I hadn't seen
Yes,
it.
I have. Yeah.
I've seen the first one, and it
Did you
was
weep?
great. I did a little bit,
I
yeah.
know.
I mean, also we put our dog down yesterday.
Oh, no.
I was a little bit weepy yesterday.
That's a dicey choice to watch Inside Out 2 right after that.
We were just like, I don't know. We were both, we were kind of napping on and off.
Yeah.
And I had my problem with my kidney stones, and I said, "Do you want to watch something?" And he said, "Okay." I said, "Well, how about?" I don't know. I was like, how about Inside Out 2? Okay. But it's a wonderful. I mean, it's the first one was great. The second one's great. But I loved what they did with anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I loved that whole thing, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, I like The Little Mermaid as much as everybody else, but I mean, this is a kids movie I can get behind, right? I mean, this is wonderful.
I've in other times of my life, I've worked as a middle school teacher.
Yeah.
And I remember right after that movie came out, we were taking a group of students to like a walk to a park for the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking behind this group of kids who had all just seen it.
Okay.
And it gave them the language to talk about their feelings. Like they were just talking about like, and when anxiety is spinning around like that, I have felt like that was happening inside me. And they were just like having this amazingly emotionally aware conversation and using those cartoon characters.
It is so good because Andy, my partner's always had mental health issues, but when they were young, they didn't have the vocabulary for it.
Yeah.
So they were kind of said that their head hurt, and then so they had this idea, and we talked about this a couple of years ago. They had this idea that they always had migraines when they were young, but it wasn't that. We don't think. We think it was other stuff that they had no vocabulary for, right? So you just my head hurts, so I think that's great that we can, because I mean, lots of us carry these things with us through our whole lives. So if we can give kids the vocabulary and also say, hey, this is okay. This is a thing that happens to people. Hopefully they'll do better than we did.
Yeah,
exactly. Like there might not be much hope for our generation, but if we can be like pulling threads and like setting up the next generation to like at least take over things one step.
Well, look at how they're doing. They're doing so good.
So good.
They're doing so good.
I didn't have anxiety for 24 years of my life, and then suddenly 3 months ago, I had panic attacks. I had anxiety, and it sucks.
Was it when you were getting ready for Fringe?
No, it's because I've decided to do an entire career change after completing a 5-year degree. And now
what's your 5-year degree?
So,
doesn't matter
it was
now.
theater and film, but now I want to go into veterinary medicine.
So it's different.
It's different. I wanted to be able to create art without the financial stress because
I had somebody in here from Kenora who's doing Finding Richard Chase. There's 2 doctors in that show.
Yeah.
So you could do it. You could be the singing vet or whatever you want to do. The death dealing vet or whatever. Oh, that's not right. That's not what we want. Well, that's good.
Yeah. But I think
That's nice.
that was a big part of it. I'm sure there's other stuff weighing in on it too, but
so what happened? I mean, it's not nice. It's nice that you're going to be a vet. It's not nice that you have panic attacks. The first time when you had a panic attack, you thought you were going to die, right?
Yeah, and I wrote the show. Yeah.
Did you know what was?
Well, no, because I had been gaining a lot of weight. So with my family history, I thought, oh no, am I having a heart attack at 24 years old? And then I was like, no, you're not having a heart attack. You're 24 years old. So I went to a doctor, got a blood and urine sample done, completely medically fine, healthy. Still had anxiety. And he was like, well, if it comes back, if it keeps getting worse, we're going to put you on medication. But my sister, my mother, both been on antidepressants, and didn't work for them,
Mhm.
couldn't function. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm going to try and curb this myself. So I was biking and doing
Mhm.
physical activity, and that seemed to help a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's not as frequent anymore. But yeah, that first time I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I take Ativan, lorazepam, because sometimes sometimes it is very hard when you're in the middle of it to kind of even to sort of pull out of it. I've had therapists try to give me tools and whatever, and I'm like, I'm just like, I'm frozen. I can't. But it is great that this is a thing that we can talk about with our doctors. Probably if you said you had an actual psychiatrist, people maybe would have wanted to kill you because it's hard to get a psychiatrist. But medication doesn't always work. And there's always, I posted I thought it was funny meme the other day where they were talking about these stages of millennial sex. And it was like this, and then the third thing was like explain to them that you can't get it, you can't come because you take antidepressants, but you still really enjoy yourself. And then number 4, have sex. So I mean, there are lots of side effects, that sometimes people don't like. Grateful that we have all these different things that we can take, but it's not perfect. And we do need to sort of figure out, is it going to help if for me, as I am, I think ADHD, but also, have you heard of ADHD? So the sort of where autism and ADHD crash together. Yeah. And so, but for me, like being active, being busy really helps, and so that's difficult because I can't just do that all the time. Right. And then you crash and you burn out. So you have to kind of figure out how to sort of navigate that. But I mean, for me, because what I do for money usually is move people, and I move stuff. So I'll be running up and backwards down the stairs with, the other day I brought those mechanics tool things with all the big, brought one of those up to the second floor of a house. So all those things are actually good, but can't do that all the time.
So then that's actually like just pure beef underneath the shirt.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's not.
I think that young people call it caked up.
Ooh, caked up.
I like Alan,
I
like to say, Alan, that I have a powerlifter's physique.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right. My core.
Ooh,
yeah. Alan Fehr is here. His show is The Naked Mennonite. Yes. He is half naked right now. The show is
underneath my clothes. I'm completely naked.
The show is at
Rachel Brown, and even today at 12:45.
Yeah, don't bother trying to go because it's sold out.
Hey.
Holly Brinkman's show is in my hand. It is Bodice Ripper, a love story, an improvised romp through your favorite romance novels. That is over at MTC up the alley. There is a show. If you're seeing this on Tuesday, there's a show tonight at 6. Nice. Do you have any guests, Chase Paget? Do you have any women guests?
Yeah, Tara Travis is going to be on the show. I'm so excited. She's got the best.
Yeah,
I love her.
Yeah, she's got lots of ADHD energy.
Well, she and I have never done anything like together on stage, but we've been friends for a really long time, so I'm very excited to have her. And on Thursday morning, our 11 a.m. spot, the Triumph and Tragedy, the Spontaneous Shakespeare Company, is going to be there. So that's Delaney and Martina and Zach, or 3 of them are all going to be on there. I won't figure out how that's going to go, but it'll be super fun.
Nice. And what's your show again?
The Apricot Tree.
The Apricot Tree. Sorry, I can't remember anything unless I have a thing here. I know you're naked Mennonite because you're naked Mennonite.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
I'm not dressed like an apricot.
Right. If you were dressed like an apricot,
missed opportunity.
And if you want to know that you're going to die, go see the show.
Yeah. Wednesday, 4:15 is our next show.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great.
And thank you so much for joining us. Please stay tuned for lots more interviews. Art will save us all.